Hello everybody, welcome back to Artist Archives. My name is Nikki. I am an actress, a writer and an academic, and I thought I'd jump on really quickly today to make a video about the best free resources for actors in London. I have been acting professionally in London since 2019. I have a few things to say and I thought I would share these resources. I've got a mix, but I'm trying to keep them to free, like absolutely free resources for actors. There are so many resources, and I'll make another video another time. If you want that, please comment that down below as to next to free resources, like cheap resources. But I want to try and share with you some free resources. So I've got a mix here of spaces, of support that you can have, of classes and that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm going to start with spaces, physical spaces. I just want to tell you that one of my favorite spaces used to be the National Theatre bookshop, and if you haven't been there, you need to get on it. So National Theatre, you know the National Theatre probably, right? If you live in London, if you're an actor, National Theatre. But something that not everybody knows is that the bookstore in the National Theatre is not just open to anyone, but it's open to anyone to sit and read the plays they have. So they've got a lovely selection of plays. There is a seat in the corner if you turn to your left, if you go into the bookstore, and you will see you can just sit down and read plays, and it doesn't take you long to read plays, right? I've just sat there and read entire plays. Haven't bought them, but I've read the entire play just on an afternoon, you know? And no one cares. Like, in fact, they want you to sit and read the plays. It's really cool. Or you can find one, leave free if you like it, by the book, you know? But you can sit and read the plays, and as an actor, that is such a valuable resource to have. All these fantastic new plays, new releases, they've got there in wonderful condition. You can just sit and read the whole thing for as long as you want. Yeah, I've never been kicked out of there, so highly recommend, and the staff are really nice. Also, I should mention that the National Theatre bookshop, it's not just plays, it's like books on acting craft and books on voice and books on text and all of these things, so definitely have a look through. Okay, next, if you're an actor, you should definitely visit the British Film Institute, the BFI, which is right opposite the National Theatre. So along the South Bank, it's literally opposite. So you can make a day out of it, go to the National Theatre for your theatre reading, and then go to the BFI and you can watch free film screenings at the BFI. And they also have their own library, so if you want to read screenplays or read more about filmmaking, the BFI have such a huge the BFI have such a huge list of so many professional films pretty much that have been made, so you can access a lot of these films and watch them for free. It's amazing, so definitely check out the BFI. Last space I'm going to recommend is actually a digital space, a platform called Drama Online. If you're looking to access some plays, you need access to a university student account there. So if you're a recent graduate, for example, or you're currently studying, you should be able to access Drama Online. So I highly recommend that. You might also want to think about if you're taking any short courses at any institutions, you might have been given a student email address, and then you can use that to access Drama Online as well. But if you want to read any sort of like short plays and that sort of thing, Drama Online is excellent for that. Okay, in terms of training, I have spoken about this a few times on my channel, but I really want to highlight this because I think it's a fantastic resource. If you want to learn more about the craft of acting and also get some hands-on experience yourself, whether that's performing in front of people, speaking with directors and other actors, attending their masterclasses, there is a wonderful program called Masterclass run by Theatre Royal Stratford East, and it's free if you're between the ages of 16 to 30, I believe. You can just sign up if you go on their website, just sign up there. And what they do is they have something called Masterclass. So that is a series of masterclasses with professionals within the industry. So you get actors, but you also get directors, designers, puppeteers, scenographers, sound designers. You get everything, and so you can go and attend these free masterclasses and learn loads. But what they sometimes also do, those masterclasses, is that they will bring actors to workshop scenes or to perform in front of people, and then maybe a director will give feedback as part of the masterclass. So you can apply for that one separately as well. So they'll say, hey, we've got this masterclass with this director, we're also looking for this number of actors. If you'd like to apply to be an actor for this masterclass, let us know. And that's just a brilliant and free opportunity to be directed by a wonderful director, and just to get that and then get that sort of on stage workshop time. So highly recommend. Even if you don't do the acting side of it, like you could just attend the masterclasses, but they also give out discounts to shows, so like £5 tickets to go see shows in the industry. And I know I said I'm talking about free resources, but joining them is completely free, and I've been to quite a few of their masterclasses in the past. It's how I met Catherine Tate. I did some audio work with their young actors, which was paid, and so like there are lots of wonderful opportunities with masterclasses, so I highly recommend. In a similar training vein, you might want to look at Stratford Theatre, not Theatre Royal Stratford East. Gosh, it's so late right now. We have a similar scheme as well for freelancers that you can join, and basically that gives you access to free space, so free rehearsal space. It's entered into this thing called the space lottery, so you can enter, and then for the next month if they've got free space, you can be given that free space. But also what's fantastic is that they also deliver amazing workshops, so I highly recommend looking out for that as well, because I've attended one of those workshops before and it was so good and really just reignited my love for theatre. It was with a theatre director called Ned Bennett, and it was free, so I highly recommend getting onto that list. It's free to sign up, do it. Another resource I will mention is called Act On It. Now usually you do have to pay for Act On It. Act On It is a digital platform with like hundreds of interviews with leading casting directors, any TV show you can think of, and what's really exciting is that it's British focused and centered, because I find that a lot of resources sometimes that get recommended are American, so it's really exciting that this is more like British, and they're really good. And what I would say is I did their free 5-day Act On It challenge, and we got like 5 days worth of content, and it was so good. So I have a feeling maybe like once or twice a year they roll out like a free come and do this online Act On It experience, because then obviously from that you hear about them, you might sign up for a paid experience, right? But keep an eye out for them. Maybe sign up to their newsletter so you can see whenever they're doing like a free New Year's workshop, even if it's just one workshop, like a New Year's workshop or something like that, because what I will say is that it was really good. I did one that was all about I think it was mostly about like kickstarting your show reels. I definitely remember like the show reel section just being so strong, so highly recommend. Now if you're just looking for some support, maybe you're just trying to figure things out, or like trying to learn more about acting in London, I've got a couple of resources to recommend. So the first one is the Young Women's Trust. The Young Women's Trust, so this, bear with me, if you look on the website it will look like it wouldn't help you with your acting, because it's basically a non-profit organization, I think, that basically helps young women in their professional careers essentially. But it looks almost like they're just going to help you craft a CV and find like maybe like an office situation, you know. However, I've used those services and I just found that it's basically you get connected with a career coach, and so I spoke to her about creative things, I spoke to her about acting, you know, and it was still very useful. And it's more there, it's not necessarily to give you answers, but it is there to coach you. So if you're feeling like you want to coach, a kind of like a motivational push, maybe some considerations of things you haven't thought of before with your career, check it out. Again, it's a free resource. It feels a little bit like having, you know, you get I think up to 6 free sessions, and so it's really great to have a career coach, so definitely check them out. And the waiting list wasn't very long. So the other thing I would suggest checking out if you're kind of getting started and you're younger is Arts Emergency. Now I haven't worked with them personally, but I know people who are really big advocates for them who I trust, and so I'm going to pass this on. So they're called Arts Emergency, and they basically link you up with a mentor in the arts industry. So they find someone who's established in their field, that is a field that you're interested in, and then the two of you can work together and chat and like be motivated, and they can help you out in your career. I believe you have to be between the ages of 16 to 18 for that one. I'm not sure, but definitely check out that website, because again, it's free and I think they're doing fantastic work, and mentorship and guidance is always so important. So if you can get a mentor in the industry you're interested in and they can help you, get on that. Okay, I'm gonna tell you something that I don't think a lot of people tell you, but I think is a massive thing to look out for. And I've said this to someone I know, actually a young person I know who's wanting to get into acting in London. I said, this is what you need to do. She's like, what opportunities? Like, how can I get opportunities? Sign up to the mailing lists of every single theatre that you're interested in, okay? So, you know, depending on what you're interested in. The thing about London is there are so many theatres, so many spaces are theatres. Above a pub there'll be a theatre, on the corner of the road there'll be there's theatres in places that you wouldn't even think there would be theatres, okay? And a lot of these have mailing lists, and on those mailing lists they will send out opportunities. Those opportunities might be for free workshops. It might be that they're looking for someone to play a role in their latest play and they're doing like an open call. Sign up to mailing lists. So trust me when I say it will be so useful for you. Now this is for theatre acting more specifically, but you know, with whatever type of acting you're interested in, find those companies that are doing that work and then sign up to a mailing list. The other thing that I actually hadn't written down but has just come to my mind is to message showreel companies. So these are companies who will create showreels for actors, but the reason you should message them is because oftentimes they are looking to hire or cast other actors to act alongside their clients. So let's say a client comes along and says, hey, I would like you to write me a showreel about, I don't know, a romantic comedy. They're going to be like, okay, great, you need someone to play alongside. Okay, we need another actor. So if you message them and say, hey, these are my materials, I'm really great in romantic comedies, they're gonna probably cast you, and then you get to do this, and then basically just me, and then you get to do the scene together. And it basically means that a lot of these companies will just offer you the showreel footage for free. So even if they're not paying you, at least you've got that reel. You're kind of being paid in that reel. So definitely make sure you check out, you email some screen companies, and I would also recommend following and reaching out to film schools, universities with degrees in film, in theatre, but specifically film, because when they get to make their short films, those film students, it could be like third year film students, or it could be just like film students within a film school, they're going to need actors, and they will usually do casting call outs. So you can follow the department's social media, or you can just get in touch with them directly, send over your details, so that by the time they're looking for actors, you're already on their radar and you're ready to go in an audition, or maybe they'll just call you straight for the role. So that's something you can do. Again, that is free, but that can get you a job. And the university and film school ones are very often paid, because they're encouraged to treat the whole thing as though it's like a professional film. So the pay might not be super high, but it's pay and it's footage, and yeah, it's a good thing to do. Okay, I wanted to include some resources for dance, because obviously as actors you want to have multiple skills, you want to be building those up. So I'm just gonna give you 2 dance resources that I think are quite exciting. Number one is the Playground Rambert. Rambert is a dance company. They specialize in ballet. I'm sure you've heard of their name before. They're very, very popular, very, very established. And they run something called the Playground, which is a monthly play space essentially for artists of all different backgrounds. You have actors, dancers, photographers, videographers, choreographers, just so many different people, and painters. And basically it's the playground, so you meet for a few hours, usually on a Friday evening, and basically the choreographers will teach some dancers a piece of choreography, and the other artists will respond in some sort of way. So maybe people will draw or take photos or that kind of thing. You can always go as an actor and create your own sort of inspiration from that, but I would also recommend going as a dancer. It's essentially free dance training with incredible established world-class choreographers, and it's free and it's low pressure, and you're going to be building your skills. And the type of movement that they do, from when I've been there, I think is very beneficial for an actor. So highly recommend that. Second one I thought I'd recommend is just like a fun additional skill. It's called Hustling London. I'm new to, I didn't really know what hustling was about, but it's a style of dance that originated in New York, and it's really fun. It's a partner dance, and there is a place called Hustle London, and sometimes they meet on a Thursday just outdoors and they just dance together, and I think it's the coolest thing. And I think it's just great to have a free space where you can just practice your dance skills and get some extra skills. And there's lots of places like that around London where you can dance for free. Have a look online, like literally type in free dance classes London. Does events, there's workshops, there's that sort of thing. But I do also know Bar Salsa, where you can go, and I think they offer a free dance class. I have to double check that, but yeah, I think they do, and it's really fun if you want to practice some salsa dancing. And last but not least, Spotlight do run events, so if you want to go to some of those events, they don't charge specifically for those events. So it could be, again, workshops. It's usually like masterclasses and talks of casting directors and that sort of thing, so you can learn more about the industry and invest in your knowledge and in your skills. They give you, for example, feedback on your materials, so maybe on your show reel or your headshots or that sort of thing. So yes, the Spotlight events are well worth looking out for, but they run out so quickly a lot of the time. So you can sign up, get a notification in your inbox, and if you see a notification in your inbox for a Spotlight event, book that minute. Trust me on this one. Someone once told me when I first started signing up, they were like, yeah, it goes really quickly, book quickly. And I was like, okay. I think I booked within the first 10 minutes. It was basically sold out. I think I was on the waiting list. Like, it's crazy. Okay, so just book quickly, because people are really booking for those Spotlight events. They are very good, the ones I've been to so far. So yeah, they also do a whole host of online events. I don't think book up so quickly, so that could be worth looking into. So I hope this was really useful. You can probably tell from my voice and my face that I'm absolutely exhausted and it's very late at night. But I hope this was useful. And if you have any comments, queries, questions, please do comment them down below, and I will do my very best to answer them or to point you in the right direction if I don't know the answer to your question. Let me know what sort of video you would like to see next, and make sure to subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you next time. Let me know what sort of video you would like next. Let me know what sort of questions you have, and I will try to answer them in an upcoming video. Bye.